Right now, after a very charged political season, News 3 Now speaks with voters on resetting mentality.
Plus, already onto the spring election, a familiar face announces she is running for mayor of Madison.
And the biggest makeover for Madison Metro in decades. But tonight, why some writers are concerned about the planning process. That's all coming up at 10. Thank you for joining us tonight. Before we get to those stories, we're in for quite a change of pace in the weather department.
I can already feel it a bit out there. We saw record high temperatures today, but over the next few hours, reality will set back in. Let's go right to Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti with our certified most accurate forecast. Gary?
Well, it's already starting to set in, Eric. Temperatures are about 20 degrees cooler than when I first got out here at 4 o'clock, and those temperatures continue to drop. The time lapse from the WISC Skycam showed some sunshine this morning, clouds moving in this afternoon, and then you started to see those heavier rain showers move on through just before sunset. But right now we're just down to light showers, not seeing even any lightning around here. But notice what's happening out to the west. Starting to see maybe a mixture of rain and snow as you start heading out toward the Mississippi River around La Crosse and then into parts of northeastern Iowa. That's where temperatures are starting to turn cold enough where there could be some flakes of snow mixed in with the rain. And you can see on 6-hour future track radar that mix of rain and snow moving eastward, probably reaching Madison between about 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning. Shouldn't last very long, but it could be enough to at least put some minor accumulations on grassy surfaces. The ground is still pretty warm because of the record high temperatures today. Here in Madison, 71 was the record, but everybody was in the upper 60s to lower 70s, about 25 degrees above average for this time of year. But look at the drop in temperatures. Milwaukee's still in the 60s, Madison barely at 50, and then out to the west already in the 30s by the time you get to La Crosse, and 20s not far off the map to the west. Across Dane County, temperatures still as warm as 60 degrees in Edgerton, but to the north and west, they're already down to 49 in Cross Plains and Sauk City. Look for mostly cloudy skies tonight. Showers could mix with some flakes of snow. Otherwise, it'll be breezy and much colder. Low temperature dropping to 30 degrees by morning. We'll see a chilly Veterans Day with highs in the upper 30s. How long will that cold weather last? I'll have more on that in the forecast in just a few minutes.
Gary, thank you. And as these temps start to drop and continue to drop, we should say, be sure to stay up to date on all things local weather with our First Warn Weather app, forecasts, interactive radar, and more. It's all for free.
Sometimes they'll talk about not having enough books or not having this or that, but at the end of the day, I think primarily it's just a reminder of how important school is to their future success.
Governor Tony Evers, fresh off winning re-election, back on the road today, getting back to work. The governor visited with students and staff at Summit Elementary in La Crosse and even joined them for lunch and recess. Evers, a former teacher himself, says visits like these put everything in perspective. Republicans were close, but did not flip enough seats in the state legislature to win a supermajority this week. That would have allowed them to override Governor Evers' veto power. In order to reach that supermajority, Republicans need 66 out of 99 seats in the assembly. They would have needed a 7-point win this week, or close to the size of the win Tammy Baldwin saw 4 years ago. But as Marquette University researcher John Johnson explains, Tuesday's results was not completely unexpected.
This was a good night for Democrats relative to expectations, but it's sort of within the range of results that most forecasters were seeing.
The districts in Wisconsin are drawn, so they are relatively monochromatic, meaning there are relatively few competitive seats left for Republicans to flip if they truly want a supermajority.
Also today, state Republicans have reelected both Robin Vos and Devin LeMahieu as leaders of the state assembly and Senate. Vos first elected as speaker back in the 2013-2014 session. Many voters consider this past midterm election crucial, but that can bring a lot of anxiety and stress when voting, watching results, and thinking of the future those results may bring. So psychologists tell our Armand Rahman equal time should be spent resetting mentally in the days that follow. Armand?
Yeah, Eric, after almost a year, we get a break from the political ads, debates, and all of that. Not only is unplugging important, but refocusing. The psychologist I spoke to says a contentious atmosphere like an election can make many of us use our feeling brain instead of our thinking brain. The dust is beginning to settle on the battleground that was the midterm election.
It was definitely stressful. It was like a really close race for everyone, so.
I felt myself refreshing Google a lot, checking the results.
Now SSM health psychologist Dr. Matt Dahls says it's time to let go of all that stress.
That's a very engaging part of our brain, and we really need to balance it. We have to give ourselves a bit of time to relax and disconnect.
Part of that involves disconnecting from the political attack ads on TV and online.
You see the intensity that they're meant to evoke, and we have physiological responses to that.
We should also reconnect to our friends and nature.
Yeah, it's also just been like really nice the past like 2 days, which has been wonderful. It's been nice to like walk around and be able to like see friends and process with them.
Physical activity can be another mindful practice.
Work out, do a lot of stretching, a little bit of yoga, weightlifting just helps clear my mind and let me think about one thing at a time without the chaos in the world around us.
Along with meditation, Dr. Dahl says.
And we're actually able to re-engage our brains in a way that's much more healthy and present in a particular moment.
Other young voters needed more visual reality checks.
A whiteboard that's on the back of my dorm room, and I try to write out the things I saw positive from the election just so the people walking by my dorm room could view it, and also as a reminder to myself when I was leaving my dorm room.
And in general, make sure to look at the positive in all voters.
While there are contentious beliefs on both sides, it's not necessarily true that we have to not like our neighbor.
And Mr. Dahl added, we should take care not to fall into habits like consuming alcohol or drugs to cope with any stress or anxiety. And if the midterms have been keeping you up at night, sleep is king. Make sure to get back into a good cycle.
All good advice. Armand, thank you. And a reminder, for all of your election needs, including results, reaction, and analysis, head over to channel3000.com or download our News 3 Now app.
And looking ahead to the Madison mayoral election next year, Gloria Reyes has thrown her hat into the ring. Former Police Chief Noble Ray and City Alder Syed Abbas spoke in support of Reyes during her speech outside the City County building. Reyes is a former deputy mayor, school board president, and Madison police officer. She said crime, education, and failed priorities are the main reasons Madison needs a change at the top.
Leadership is more than pushing our own movements. It's about building a plan for a better Madison for all. That is why in this campaign I will do just as much listening as I do talking.
A spokesperson for current Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway told us today the mayor has no intentions of going anywhere and is busy working on a balanced budget that focuses on the city's priorities.
Next tonight, there's a big gap in a popular trail in Greene County, just outside Monroe. Crews tore down a bridge on the Badger State Trail after it was damaged by a fire, and now the sheriff's office there trying to figure out if somebody did it on purpose. It's been a route there for years, this bridge. The sheriff's office said the bridge was already damaged after a car hit it back on July 1st. And in Jefferson County, a family of 5 with multiple pets is getting help from the Red Cross after a fire this morning happened in the 300 block of East Madison Street in Waterloo. Multiple departments responded to the fire. The garage said to be a total loss. Plans are underway for the city of Madison to redesign its bus system by June of next year. It is the largest change they've made in some 23 years.
And after discussing the results of a city-sanctioned equity analysis at a public hearing last night, the planning process has some bus riders concerned. Nicole Herzog reports.
By next year, the time you spend at the bus stop could be getting shorter, but it also means some routes will be cut after the redesign. This was all discussed at last night's public hearing, where transportation planners explained the results of a federally required equity analysis. The analysis studied how often a bus would stop at a person's neighborhood, plus how accessible those bus stops were for minorities in comparison to the general population.
We want to make sure that overall, when we look at large populations, people of color are both benefiting in equal ways compared to white people, and if there are service reductions, that they're not seeing a disproportionate burden compared to white people.
The results of the analysis were mostly positive. 47% of people will be able to travel to more places. People of color and low-income groups will benefit just as much or more than the general population. Another key finding: older people and those with disabilities may benefit less. Because of limited data, city transportation planner Michael Shavala says that statistic is unclear.
We're also just dealing with a relatively small sample size and census data. So census data doesn't really tell you the full picture of how people with disabilities will be served.
Shavala says the city is addressing the problem by adding several bus routes and making sure no residents are left out of the paratransit boundary, which offers accessibility features to people who need them. But because the study was done by the same consultants who created the plan, people are concerned the study is inadequate.
You need an independent reviewer who does not have a conflict of interest. and who could point out methodological problems and ask for a different kind of analysis.
President of the Madison area bus advocate Susan DeVos also says the virtual-only public hearings put some bus riders at a disadvantage.
You need an independent reviewer who does not have a conflict of interest and who could point out methodological problems and ask for a different kind of analysis.
Overall, Shivala says the city is listening closely to the community and doing the best they can to improve bus service for all. As of now, he says they're looking into a second analysis, but that plan hasn't been confirmed.
Next, attend former President George W. Bush drumming up support among Republicans for Ukraine. Former President Bush will be holding a public conversation with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky at his presidential center in Dallas next week. Zelensky will be participating remotely from Ukraine, but the event itself will be open to the public. Bush's support comes as Republican House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy has hinted the new Congress may be taking a closer look at funding for Ukraine. And Ukraine's military said it had retaken swaths of territory in the south after Moscow ordered a partial withdrawal from the area. Now, officials in Kyiv warned that retreating Russian soldiers could turn the regional capital into a, quote, city of death on their way out. The military spokesman said that in just 24 hours, Ukrainian forces had pushed the front line in the Kherson region forward by more than 4 miles and taken control of more than 100 square miles of territory. The dream will never die. That's what the makers of the world's largest commercial plane tweeted when it was destroyed during Russia's invasion of Ukraine. And now the Antonov company says it's bringing the plane back to life. This week, the company tweeted that design work is already in the process. The company says it'll take about $3 billion in 5 years to build Maria, which means dream in Ukrainian.
Still ahead tonight, an update on our quickly changing forecast.
Plus, a look at some of the damage left behind after Hurricane Nicole made landfall in Florida. Stay with us.
It's the Hy-Vee Red Hot Weekend Baking Sale this Friday through Sunday. A 4-pound bag of Hy-Vee sugar, only 99 cents. Hy-Vee butter, only $1.98. And Jif Creamy Peanut Butter, only $1.48. Scan the code, get deals. Only at Hy-Vee.
DePaco Credit Union members are better together because together members share thank yous. A DePaco-only perk that thanks members in cash. And because you're not just a member, you're also an owner, everyone benefits. How will this year's nearly $3.7 million in thank yous benefit you and your community? Since 2016, DePaco members have shared nearly $24.4 million. We truly are better together. Join the movement where your member ownership pays. Visit your nearest DePaco branch or join online at depaco.com.
I became an orthopedic surgeon for a lot of reasons.
For a lot of reasons.
For a lot of reasons.
To help you take walks again. To ease your pain.
To rebuild your strength.
And at every step along the way,
we take the time to answer all your questions.
We're here because we care.
We care about you.
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 They care about me. Sauk Prairie Healthcare Orthopedics, now offering robotic-assisted knee replacement.
So with a Planet Fitness Black Card, I'll get a post-workout glow like that guy?
Everybody knows that you need to glow, you need to glow, the glow, the glow.
And I get a free Amazon Halo to track my fitness and sleep.
Cause when you got the glow, there is no stopping what you want to do. Oh.
And I can bring a friend.
It's the way of life.
Okay, sign me up.
Get the PF Black Card for zero enrollment, $24.99 a month, and get a free Amazon Halo View. Ends November 15th. It's glow time.
Don't miss the 33rd Annual Winter Art Fair Off the Square, November 12th and 13th at the Monona Terrace Convention Center. Featuring over 100 Wisconsin exhibitors with a wonderful selection of ceramics, paintings, glass art, wood, jewelry, and much more. Place your bids at our silent auction Saturday only. Children will enjoy the Young Collectors Corner. Buy local for the holidays. The Winter Art Fair Off the Square. Put it on your calendar today.
It's the Hy-Vee Red Hot Weekend Baking Sale this Friday through Sunday. 5 pounds of gold medal flour, only $2.97. Hy-Vee baking chips, 3 for only $5. And Hy-Vee marshmallows, only 98 cents. Scan the code, get deals. Only at Hy-Vee.
Get excited!
it, y'all.
You ain't seen none yet, baby.
Josh Groban is on the Jennifer Hudson Show. Y'all calm down yet? Then a family who saved themselves from homelessness. You gonna have me emotional.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. The first cruise ship to be used as fan accommodations for the World Cup has arrived in Doha, the capital city of Qatar, this morning. It'll serve as a floating hotel with 4,000 cabins for the World Cup tournament. Another cruise ship will arrive next Monday. The World Cup matches begin on November 20th.
And a recall notice tonight from a popular stroller brand. Certain Mockingbird single to double strollers have a frame issue and can cause a fall hazard. Consumers should immediately stop using them. There have been nearly 140 reports of cracks in the frame, including 8 injuries to children in the strollers. Mockingbird is contacting all known purchasers directly to receive a free frame reinforcement kit. The first November hurricane to hit Florida in 37 years was only a Category 1. But following Hurricane Ian's devastation 6 weeks ago, it didn't take much for Nicole to devastate some coastal communities.
And CBS's Christian Benavides has more from Daytona Beach shores.
Devastation along Florida's Atlantic coast.
This is going to change the landscape of our community.
Hurricane Ian destroyed the seawalls and dunes in Daytona Beach shores, leaving no protection from Nicole.
The worst has come true.
Director of Public Safety Mike Fowler says the worst of the property damage may be yet to come.
We currently have approximately 20 high-rise properties that have been deemed to be unsafe. We may have structural collapse of a major building.
Residents are wondering what the recovery will look like and if it will be enough.
You do everything you can to be safe, but you can't control the hurricane. You can't control the wind. You can't control the water.
Mark Sink moved into this building in January.
Will I come back? I mean, are they going to condemn it? I'm not sure. It looks bad.
This is the back part of Zing's condo. It used to be a deck. Right next door is this beach safety office, which is literally collapsing into the ocean.
Pool decks, washers and dryers, bedding, sofas, all in the Atlantic Ocean.
Sheriff's deputies went house to house, marking them with a red X after ensuring no residents were still inside.
Less than 24 hours, we've evacuated over 600 folks from condos that have been declared structurally unsafe.
Officials don't know when or if residents will be able to move back into their homes. Christian Benavides, CBS News, Daytona Beach shores, Florida.
Officials in Orange County say Nicole is probably the cause for 4 deaths, 2 killed by a downed power line and 2 from a car crash.
Well, Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti here today, and we have had weather to watch ourselves, not hurricane weather, but really warm temperatures, and folks, things are changing fast.
Yeah, and we were even worried about the possibility for some severe weather here. Fortunately, that hasn't come to fruition, but that can happen in November when you see big temperature swings. And take a look at the record high temperatures that fell today. Moline, Illinois, almost to 80 degrees. Milwaukee, 77. Chicago, 76. Rockford, Illinois, 74. Dubuque, Iowa, and Madison, both at 71. Those were record high temperatures. And up north, same story. 66 Marshfield, 67 Wausau, La Crosse, almost at 70. Hit 70 in Appleton, and in the low 70s in Oshkosh and Green Bay. For Veterans Day tomorrow, a different story. Look for skies to start out cloudy early tomorrow morning. Temperatures around freezing. Then we'll be just barely above freezing by noon. At least we'll see partly sunny skies. They'll be back down to around freezing by 6 p.m. We'll see partly sunny skies. It'll be breezy and about 35 degrees colder than today. As we look at Doppler tracks, still showers out there. I think most of the lightning is gone, but now we're starting to see some flakes of snow mix in on the western edge of the precipitation. And as the cold air catches up to the showers that are still ongoing and moving through southwestern Wisconsin, we're going to start seeing at least a mix of precipitation. It remains to be seen if it'll be cold enough to get anything to stick to the ground. This looks pretty impressive, but remember the ground is pretty warm from seeing temperatures today in the 70s. So if we see any accumulation, it'll be mainly on grassy surfaces. Shouldn't last very long and will melt pretty quickly. But this is 6-hour future track radar taking us to about 4:15 in the morning, and that's about when we'll see that mix of precipitation through Madison. It should end pretty quickly after that. High temperatures today, upper 60s, lower 70s statewide. Out to the west, different story. That's the high temperature in Glasgow, Montana, 11 degrees. We're going to see a big drop in temperatures as the upper level winds from the southwest that transported that moisture in and brought us the showers and isolated thunderstorms switches to the north. And that'll start bringing in colder air, and that's going to be with us for a while. The leading edge of the cold air is this cold front now off to the east of us, so the winds have shifted to the west and northwest, and the temperatures range from in the upper 60s, almost 70 degrees across Lake Michigan, still 66 in Milwaukee, to 50 in Madison, 38 in La Crosse, and by the time you get into the eastern Dakotas and the western part of Minnesota, we could see the possibility, or those temperatures there dropping off to the lower 20s. As we check out our forecast, look for a high temperature tomorrow of only 37 for Veterans Day, become partly cloudy, breezy, much colder. Planning your day, 34 for the high in Verona, 34 in Windsor, and 34 degrees in Dalyville. At least we'll see a fair amount of sunshine. Be kind of brisk though, 39 for the high in Lone Rock, 34 Prairie du Chien. Janesville will top out at 38 degrees. For the rest of tonight, look for those showers to move on through, again, mixing with snow to the west when the temperatures start dropping into the 30s. But notice they're still above freezing, so we're not looking for much of anything to stick to the ground. By the time we drop to freezing in Madison, the rain and snow mixes off to the east of us, moving out pretty quickly, and then skies actually start to clear by mid-morning tomorrow with temperatures right around the freezing mark. 7 to 10 day forecast, temperatures stay in the low to mid-30s pretty much through the weekend and all the way through next week. The middle part of next week, Tuesday into Wednesday, possibility for a few snow showers, maybe mixed with rain in the afternoon on Tuesday. Not looking for anything as far as accumulation, but even colder weather as we head toward next weekend.
And coming up in sports, the path for a Big Ten West championship is back on for the Badgers. What needs to happen and why Jim Leonard isn't worried about what's going on with the rest of the West. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. We did the math, people. For $79, you get all this. That costs over $400 at Lens Crafters, over $200 at Walmart, and over $150 at America's Best. When it comes to value, Stanton Optical is the top bird.
You protected our rights, preserved our freedom. You may have even risked your life for us. Now, it's our turn to fight for you. Your local Wisconsin emergency, energy, and housing assistance providers, and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund reward the service of our veterans with rental and energy support in their time of crisis. Apply today to get the fresh start you've earned.
There will always be bumps in the road, but we got guts, America. We got freedom. We got power. We got future. So let's drive on and make the future we want to see together. Because your new Ford vehicle is just the start of a journey. So stop by your Ford dealer today and claim one of the thousands of new Ford trucks and SUVs on their way. We've been building this country for 119 years, but we're just getting started.
The holidays can be a busy time of year. Well, I'm going to let you in on my gifting secret for a stress-free holiday season. Nothing says happy holidays like a gift you make yourself. Just add those personal touches to really make it special. And you don't have to be a professional to spread holiday cheer.
Gifting has never been easier with holiday scratch games from the Wisconsin Lottery. With prices ranging from $1 to $20, they're available now at Wisconsin Lottery retailers.
Yum, yum!
National call centers. They're just not the way to go, especially now that it's time for Medicare's annual enrollment period. Because nobody knows your local hospitals, doctors, and pharmacies like your local Informed Choice Insurance agent.
In a recent clinical study,
patients using Salonpas patch reported reductions in pain severity,
using less or a lot less oral pain medicines,
and improved quality of life. That's why we recommend Salonpas. It's good medicine.
Keep your vehicle running smoothly with automotive products at Menards. AC Delco batteries set the standard for performance and reliability. Don't be left stranded this winter. All AC Delco batteries are 11% off. Splash Ultimate Windshield Wash Fluid is effective down to negative 35 degrees. It clears ice and salt while delivering a clear, streak-free shine every time. Right now, pick up a gallon for only $2.66 after 11% off.
Save big money at Menards.
At Stanton Optical, you get great value on eye care, including contacts. Right now, get a 1-year supply of AccuView Oasis and an eye exam for only $189. Scan now to book your eye exam. Yay, technology.
The Wisconsin men were taking it all in at the ballpark this afternoon as their matchup with Stanford gets closer. But more importantly, the practice allowed them to get used to shooting in the middle of an infield. The background obviously much different than a normal gym, but there's another element that they'll have to account for too. Cooler temps. It's going to be cold at AmFam Field once the sun goes down, but that might be an advantage for the Badgers.
We play in a building in the Kohl Center, which has a hockey rink too, so it helps us a little bit in terms of the weather that could happen in the second half.
People come in here and say that the Kohl Center is the coldest spot in the Big Ten, so hopefully it'll be an advantage for us maybe, but you know, you just got to go out there and play basketball at the same time. You can't let the weather get in the way. It'll be something different. It's not football or baseball, but you still got to go out there and play.
The Badger men tip off their game at 6:30 tomorrow night, while the Badger women get the Brew City Battle doubleheader started at 3:30 when they face off against Kansas State. It's crazy to think that after starting conference play with 2 losses and then losing their head coach, the Badgers could still technically win the West and play for a Big Ten championship. But for that to actually happen, they're going to need some help. Illinois has to lose 2 of their next 3 games, and Wisconsin has to win out. Kind of feels a little like last season, right? But the only thing Jim Leonard has this group focusing on right now, themselves, and winning on Saturday.
The biggest thing at this point of the season is we don't control our destiny other than winning, right? And that's the place that we're in. So we got to handle our business. You know, we have to go and win a big game. Keep yourselves in the conversation and give yourself a chance to cause some pressure on these other teams going down the stretch. So it doesn't change in any way how we have to affect our game.
Former Packer Blake Martinez is calling it a career. Drafted by Green Bay in 2016, the 4th-round pick spent 4 seasons in Titletown, where he racked up 512 tackles, 10 sacks, and 3 interceptions. Martinez also spent 2 seasons with the Giants and played in 4 games this year with the Raiders. The Division III NCAA volleyball tournament is underway, and Whitewater advanced to the 2nd round after a 4-set win over Cornell. Their next match is tomorrow night at 4:30. We're back after this.
Welcome to Dwellings.
Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
To everyone who craves a fresh meal, come have a taste of Wisconsin.
America's Dairyland.
As in real dairy.
It gives Culver's fresh frozen custard its famous rich and creamy flavor.
Like really rich.
So rich.
Rich and creamy.
And our cook-to-order Butterburgers?
They're topped with, you guessed it, Wisconsin cheese.
But it's the smiles we put on your face with every meal made just for you.
It really makes our hearts melt.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Nice.
And I don't want the world to see me, 'cause I don't think that they'd understand when everything's made to be broken. I just want you to know who I am. I just want you to know who I am.
Moderate to severe eczema still disrupts my skin. Despite treatment, it disrupts my skin with itch. It disrupts my skin with rash. But now, I can disrupt eczema with Rinvoq. Rinvoq is not a steroid, topical, or injection. It's one pill once a day that's effective without topical steroids. Many taking Rinvoq saw clear or almost clear skin, while some saw up to 100% clear skin. Plus, they felt fast itch relief, some as early as 2 days. That's Rinvoq relief.
Rinvoq can lower your ability to fight infections, including TB, serious infections and blood clots, some fatal, cancers, including lymphoma and skin cancer, death, heart attack, stroke, and tears in the stomach or intestines occurred. People 50 and older with at least one heart disease risk factor have higher risks. Don't take if allergic to Rinvoq, as serious reactions can occur. Tell your doctor if you are or may become pregnant.
Disrupts the itch and rash of eczema. Talk to your doctor about Rinvoq.
Learn how AbbVie can help you save.
I became an orthopedic surgeon for a lot of reasons.
For a lot of reasons.
For a lot of reasons. To help you take walks again. To ease your pain. To rebuild your strength. And at every step along the way,
we take the time to answer all your questions.
We're here because we care. We care about you. You.
You. They care about me.
Sauk Prairie Healthcare Orthopedics, now offering robotic-assisted knee replacement.
Welcome to Dwellings.
Shop our fabulous showroom, Hard Rock Road, Fitchburg.
This portion of News 3 Now sponsored by RG Heating and Air Conditioning. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Finally tonight, divers working on a documentary for the History Channel looking for remains of a World War II era aircraft off of Florida's East Coast discovered a piece of the Space Shuttle Challenger. The shuttle experienced an emergency seconds after liftoff on January 28, 1986. All 7 astronauts on board were killed. NASA confirms the artifact is a piece of the Space Shuttle Challenger.
Unbelievable.
That's amazing.
So many years ago, the three of us remember it well. I know you don't.
Yeah.
I wasn't
I was still working for McDonald's at the time.
I'm not surprised. I was in 7th grade. You would have been about the same.
Stop. Yes.
I was much older.
Final check, Gary. Things are changing.
Yeah, those temperatures are dropping. Live view from the Edgewater Sky Camp. Just a little drizzle right now in Madison, but you can see those showers starting to mix with snow out toward the Mississippi River. A little closer view. Parts of Crawford and Vernon counties might be seeing a mix of rain and snow right now. In Grant County, not too far behind. By the time we get to around 4:30 tomorrow morning, could see that mix here in Madison. Possible we could see some minor accumulations on grassy areas, but the ground is pretty warm right now. But those temperatures are cooling off fast. 66 Milwaukee, 50 in Madison, 38 in La Crosse. Even across Dane County, temperatures range from 50s to the 40s.
All right, Gary, thank you. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10.
Do something good, and we'll see you back here tomorrow.